Imagine for a moment that you are sitting on a Boeing airliner, flying from Los Angeles to New York City. The passengers are enjoying their coffee, the clouds outside are calm, and everything seems perfect. However, inside the cockpit, the captain makes a tiny error while inputting the navigation coordinates. The heading deviates by just 1 degree. This 1 degree, at the moment of takeoff, is almost imperceptible. The plane doesn't shake, the radar doesn't sound an alarm, and even the most sensitive passengers feel nothing amiss. But, as the plane travels across the American continent at 500 miles per hour, this 1 degree deviation is being catalyzed by time, evolving into a disaster. When the estimated arrival time hits, passengers look out the window, terrified to discover that below them isn't the bustling Manhattan of New York, but a desolate landscape in Albany, 150 miles away from their destination. This isn't the opening scene of a disaster movie. This is the life you and I are living right now. That 1 degree deviation is those 10 minutes you spend snoozing in the morning. It is that moment after work when you choose to open Netflix instead of a finance book. It is that one seemingly insignificant compromise you make when facing a difficulty. We always assume that what destroys a life is a sudden tsunami, but the truth is, what truly keeps us mediocre, poor, or even miserable are those silent, invisible, yet devastatingly powerful forces hidden in the river of time. Albert Einstein, with a sense of awe, called it the 8th wonder of the world. It is the compound effect, the invisible tyrant and benefactor. Welcome back to ReadSmart Financial Freedom. In a world full of noise, we don't peddle anxiety, we distill wisdom today. We are deconstructing a book that serves as the bedside Bible for countless millionaires. It is The Compound Effect, written by the former publisher of Success magazine, Darren Hardy. If success has a source code, this book is the key to unlocking it. Darren Hardy wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. His philosophy on life was forged in a garage filled with the smell of rust and sweat. The story begins with his father. He was a man who believed in Spartan discipline. For young Darren, fatherly love wasn't a warm hug. It was a massive sign on the wall that read, "No excuses." Every morning at 6 a.m., while other kids were dreaming in their warm beds, Darren was woken by his father to begin hellish weight training in the garage. The sound of metal barbells clanging against concrete became the background music of his childhood. At that time, he perhaps didn't understand that his father wasn't just training his muscles, but his tolerance for boredom. This extreme self-discipline produced a chemical reaction. By age 18, Darren earned a 6-figure income through his own business efforts. At 20, he bought a mansion in an upscale neighborhood. By 24, his income broke $1 million. And by 27, his company's revenue exceeded $50 million. He used his own experience to verify a truth forgotten by modern society. There are no myths of overnight success in this world. All sudden rises to fame are simply the delayed explosion of compounding over a timeline. However, the hardest part about understanding compounding is that it is incredibly deceptive. To help you deeply understand this, let's play a psychological game worth millions. Suppose the god of destiny stands before you right now and gives you 2 choices. Option A, immediately take a check for $3 million, cash, in your pocket right now. Option B, take only 1 penny, but this penny doubles in value every day for the next 31 days. In this fast-paced era, 90% of people would instinctively choose option A. After all, money in the bag is our brain's default mechanism. $3 million is enough to buy a house, a car, and travel the world. But let's look at the road less traveled of option B. Assume you chose the $3 million, and you have a friend who seems charmingly foolish and chose that 1 penny. The game begins. By day 5, you are driving a Ferrari, enjoying life, while your friend has only 16 cents. You might mock him, saying, "See, this is what happens when you don't seize the opportunity." By day 10, you are still wealthy while your friend's money has turned into $5.12. He can't even afford a box. By day 20, this is a critical point. Your friend has persisted for 2/3 of the time, but he only has $5,243. Compared to your $3 million, this is a joke. At this moment, your friend starts to doubt himself, and people around him start sneering. See, what's the use of hard work? Choice is more important than effort. This is the moment most people give up. This is also why most people cannot become rich. They collapse in the valley of disappointment, the darkest time before the dawn. But miracles often happen at the very last moment. On day 29, that one penny has rolled into $2.7 million. Now, you start to feel a twinge of unease. On day 30, his wealth becomes $5.3 million, surpassing you. And on day 31, the end game, that insignificant one penny, finally explodes into $10.73 million. That is more than 3 times your $3 million principal. This is the core shock of the compound effect. For a long period, your efforts show no visible returns. You read every day, but your conversation doesn't seem more elegant. You run every day, but the scale doesn't budge. You feel like you are working for nothing, but in reality, you are accumulating potential energy, waiting for the arrival of day 31. The shadow of giants and the microwave mentality. We live in a microwave mentality society. Hungry. Order delivery. It arrives in 30 minutes. Want a movie? Netflix streams instantly. We are accustomed to instant gratification, and thus we have lost the ability for delayed gratification. However, look at those standing at the top of the pyramid. They are all masters of resisting this instinct. Why did the late basketball legend Kobe Bryant become a legend? Not because of his buzzer beaters in the finals, but because of Los Angeles at 4 a.m. Imagine that scene. The entire city is still asleep. The streets lit only by dim street lamps and sparse starlight. Kobe is already in the gym, repeating boring shooting drills. 1 day, 2 days, 10 years? Those moments in the darkness with no applause, those mechanical repetitions, finally converged into an unstoppable light on the court. The compound effect etched the DNA of a champion into his muscle memory. Look at Warren Buffett. When people ask him for his investment secrets, he doesn't talk about complex charts or insider tips. He simply pulls a thick stack of financial statements from his briefcase and says faintly, "Read 500 pages like this every day." That's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. 99% of Buffett's wealth was acquired after his 50th birthday. He did only one thing in his life: find a very long hill and roll a very wet snowball. But remember, this sword has 2 edges. The compound effect can send you to heaven or drag you down to hell. If you have a bad habit every day, like eating a bag of chips before bed, do it today. Nothing happens. Do it next month. Nothing happens. But what if this habit continues for 10 years? What will compounding return to you? Not just obesity, but high blood pressure, diabetes, and career stagnation or family stress caused by a health collapse. This is negative compounding. It's like a chronic poison, boiling the frog and ruining your life. The book gives a formula powerful enough to change destiny. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals radical difference. The first step you need to take is awareness. You must wake up from autopilot mode. Record your day and see. Are you investing your time in the 1 penny that explodes on day 31, or wasting it on the short-term pleasure of the 3 million? You want 6-pack abs? It's not about 15 days of hellish training. It's about eating 1 less bite of sugar, walking 20 more minutes, and persisting for 3 years. You want financial freedom? It's not about a lucky stock tip. It's about saving and investing with iron discipline every month, persisting for 20 years. The next puzzle piece now, let me ask you a serious question. Look back at yourself 5 years ago. The decisions you made then created who you are today. Are you satisfied with your current life? Are your savings, your body, and your relationships what you dreamed of 5 years ago? If the answer is yes, congratulations, you are already wielding the power of compounding. If the answer is no, then please wake up, because if you don't make a change, the you 5 years from now will only repeat today's regrets. You might be fired up right now wanting to change immediately, but there is a huge trap here. Willpower is unreliable. When the passion fades, when life's trivialities attack, how can we guarantee we persist until day 31? Why do 99% of people give up halfway, even knowing that compounding works? Because they lack a system. In the next documentary episode of ReadSmart, we will reveal the key piece of this puzzle: how to build an automated habit system that doesn't rely on willpower. We will dive deep into how to trick your brain into making persistence as natural as breathing. If you don't want to miss this profound transformation regarding wealth and destiny, and if you want to witness your own life's day 31, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. Knowledge isn't for showing off, it's for changing destiny. We are ReadSmart. We'll see you next week. Let's grow strong and get rich together.